Welcome to the Chairwheel Podcast with me, Simon Burridge.
And me, Rachel Burridge.
Okay.
Everyone goes different, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Go Burridge.
Right. So, it's Karen Clifford from Vision Communication. Take one.
Well done. She nailed
That
it.
was the most sensible
Nailed
one,
it.
wasn't it?
Stick it up. So what we do is we put it on the camera, then we can see your name the whole time. There's a special technique. It hovers a little bit. Look, there you go.
Technique for it.
Oh, as I pull all my equipment away. Let me just mess about with this.
Oh, his headphones have come out.
Right. No, I didn't. That's all right.
Oh.
Hello. Nice to see you, Karen.
Nice to meet you.
I've
as
met you
well.
once before, haven't I? A meeting, but you won't remember, will you? No, thank you very much.
You weren't.
I've been to the B&I meeting that you were at. I was at the B&I.
Oh!
Get out of it. Get out of it. Don't start giving it the old. Don't give it the old, I recognise you now. Anyway, before we start, the funny thing is, we've had a good 10-minute chat before this, and she still didn't know. If you ain't going to know now, she's never going to know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's so many
That's all
new
right.
people there, and it was like a ridiculously stupid time to go as well. It was like
Yeah, I
6
know.
o'clock in the morning.
6:30, yeah.
Yeah,
It's good, isn't it?
So,
Before we start, you know a bit about the sign now, don't you?
Yeah.
How long do you reckon? What we do is you say a time and then we go from now.
okay, I think it's going to fall off in about 20 minutes.
From now. Perfect. Right, now we're going to go to our sponsors.
Today's sponsors are DiGiorgio Properties, your premier choice for expert building solutions. From concept to completion, trust them to turn your dreams into a reality.
Visit their website today at digiorgiosproperties.com.
Dimedici Associates, chartered, structural and civil engineers.
Based in the UK with a worldwide reach.
Visit their website on dimediciassociates.com.
And we're back. Thank you, sponsors. Oh, we waited for them sponsors. So, Karen, tell us about your business and what you do.
Okay, my business is Vision Communication, and I run a sign language school. I teach sign language from level 1 to 4, and I run a signing choir as well.
Brilliant. Did you want to sign and talk at the same time for the whole podcast?
Oh my God.
I could just sign, and then you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. It's up to you.
Can you sign and talk, or is that not right? Is that not possible?
No, not really.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Because BSL, British Sign Language, is a different way. Their sentence structure is different.
Oh, to what you're actually saying.
So
I bet that's
I
hard.
would not. So if I was saying, I'm coming to a podcast today,
Yeah.
I would actually be signing today podcast go.
Yeah.
Ah,
and
right.
So what is your name is name what or something
It's
like
just
that.
name
Is-
what.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
So it's not actually. It's
and I
very
teach
hard.
BSL, so I would be talking in a completely
Right. So in
different
a way
way.
as well. So if you spoke to an American,
different.
you would know an accent.
It's different, yeah.
Well, even BSL's got an accent. If you
Right. Okay. So north and south.
yeah. If you went up to Manchester, they sign a little bit different than down here in South.
Why? Because you have to use tripe and stuff in sign language
Say that.
instead of fish and chips. What's tripe? What's tripe?
I never thought of that. So it's all completely different around
Right.
the country. So they've got it's as different as our voices are. Oh look, I'll start.
No, that's good. Yeah, you are doing it. That's good. That's good. Hello. That's it, isn't it?
It is. It's
That's
just
it.
hello.
That's it. I watched Justin's House and things like that.
Oh, everyone says that. Honestly, they always say to me, I know that. Mr. Tumble. I thought, I am not Mrs. Tumble. Seriously.
I've got a couple of mates
I have
that like
nothing
Mr.
to do with him.
Mark
We've never
Patterson,
seen
hello.
each other. It didn't happen.
But it's really weird how you can learn, like, because you have to make sure it's British Sign Language, because you could be learning the American one, which is completely different from what we
Americans
learn.
all on one hand.
Yeah. It's
They all
very
do it
different.
on
They
one
sign
hand
all
and-
on one hand?
Yeah, which is great because you can sign and eat at the same time. Whereas when I go out with my friends who sign, and you're just going to get your food in and they ask you a question, you have to put your...
Right.
It takes forever having a dinner. Then you sign and then you're like, oh no.
That even scares me. I I saw it, Paul.
It wasn't 20 minutes, though,
It was
was it?
not 20 minutes.
I gave that an extra push for you as well.
And put new tape on as well.
Put new tape. I put one bit of new tape on.
Oh, that's why.
I had the choice between 1 or 3.
Is that why you asked me if I want to go to the toilet before this?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter now. You've already gone now. Right, so, and that's you've forgotten what you was talking about as well, haven't you? So it's no good for a chat show this time because it stops completely what people are saying.
I wonder by the end of the year if it would just be like the sticky tape on there. We won't actually have a sign because it'll be so
Just
broken.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's so broken. Look at the state of it now. Look.
Oh no!
I reckon by the end of it, it's just going to be one bit of plastic.
We're going to invoice you for it because it was you that broke it.
Yeah, none of the other guests have
done that.
No, it's my
It stayed on the wall the whole time.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So your school then, sorry, getting back to why you're here really. Your school, are you based locally? Where are you based?
Yeah, we're based in Gillingham. I hire the rooms in Woodlands School, Woodlands,
Yeah.
Woodlands Road. I actually went to that school when I was growing
Yeah,
up.
so did my mum. That's how I know.
Really?
Yeah.
So I teach from there. So I do predominantly evening classes there, and then I might do some deaf awareness training in the day. But and we run the choir from there as well.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah, they're really good there. So
how long have you been teaching then? How did you get into sign language?
Oh, right. Well, it's a funny story. Well, I think it's funny.
I'll be the judge of that.
No, I do recognise you.
Get out of it. Nothing's going to be funny now. Go on.
So, I've had all different careers and wasn't even thinking of sign language. Bumped into an old school friend. We were like best friends at school. I said to her, "What are you doing now?" She said, "Oh, I'm teaching sign language." I was like, that's like a grown-up job.
Yeah.
Because you've got one friend that you can see and you catapult it back to a child.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how old you are.
Yes.
Well,
Absolutely.
she is like that. We just go back to being stupid. So I was like, I'm gonna go to one of her classes.
Yeah.
She was working for adult ed. So I booked on, went into her class.
What, as a surprise?
Yeah, went into her class. I thought I'm just going to laugh and mess about and be really stupid in her class. So she studies the alphabet and then she's like, I'm going to do a word, see if you know what it is. And of course she starts and she's doing all her family members. So as soon as she's done an N, I'm thinking, I've got to be Natalie. And all the class are going, she's good. I've never been top of the class, never. So I was like enjoying this. And then she'd do S. I thought, that's Simon. So I was like, I think that's Simon. And they're all going, because everybody was just going the vowel. Oh, hang on, what's that one? And I was just like, yeah, that's that. And then we did numbers, and then she started doing birthdays. I was like, is it February? And they were all like, wow. So I put this on for 2 weeks, never told anyone I knew her. I just sat there and I was enjoying all that. Karen's top of the class. Karen's like, I want to work with Karen. She's really good. And then I had to come clean and go, because we started moving on then to other things that I didn't know. And I thought, I'm not so top of the class now.
Yeah.
So I was like,
What's my blood type?
yeah. It was a little bit like that. So, let's just say so in the end I had to come clean. But by then I'd really enjoyed it and I just took it all in and thought, I can do this. I really enjoy it. So I passed that exam and then went on to level 2 and then did level 3. And then she said, there's a job going for a teacher. And I was like, never taught in my life. Went for the interview. They offered me the job. I thought, okay, I'll start teaching. And I thought they were just going to give me, like, you get handouts, like, off you go. And they went, there you go. So what do I do? They were like, you make up all your handouts, you look at the spec, you do all the exams, you do
it
this.
yourself.
Like,
oh my God.
Oh,
so you were literally chucked in the deep end.
Yeah, and level 2, not level 1, the starters, level 2. Anyway, I had my first class. I've never been so scared. I was like literally shaking. I'm trying to pretend this isn't my first class. They're like, how long have you been doing this? I was like, I can't really remember. I was so scared. Anyway.
The thing is, all those students now sign by going like this.
They think it's the right one. It was the most nerve-wracking thing. And trying to pretend that I was confident and I knew what I was doing, which I just fumbled through. So sorry everyone that ever came on my first course, but they all passed.
Oh, that's good.
And I thought, something's worked. And then it just sort of progressed from there. She then, I've never forgiven her, emigrated to Australia. I only spoke to her yesterday, funny enough. We had a FaceTime.
It's really weird. This podcast is always linked to Australia.
Oh, really?
Always.
Oh, well, she went to Australia.
Yeah, we've got guests coming on that are Australian. We've got one of our main followers who always questions us and says, "Oh, can you tell us about this or do that?" He's Australian. And, yeah, everything.
Everyone's backpacked Australia.
Yeah. And there's my first teacher. She's gone to Australia. So so I took over her job and I just moved on and then became a communication support worker, then did deaf-blind awareness, which was really interesting. And then I just wanted to do more. So I set up my own business, be 13 years this year.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I could do more. I could do this, that and the other and
Because the exams themselves, the first one obviously is very, not, this is going to sound horrible, but it's the basics, isn't it? The level 1 is the basics.
Yeah.
But then when you go into level 2 and 3, you actually have to have a conversation with someone, don't you? They record the conversation, is that right?
Even on level 1 now you record, it's
you?
changed. You do 3 exams and the second and third you have a conversation, 5-minute conversation with me.
Oh, God.
And then,
Can you explain, sorry?
No.
Can you explain deaf-blind awareness to me? Because to me, it's like you're just sitting in the park and you're going, he's deaf. He's blind.
No. So deaf-blind awareness is making people aware of somebody that is deaf and blind.
Well,
how would you know that person?
Right, okay.
If somebody went past, how would you know that they weren't just blind, they were deaf and blind? So a little question. So they've got their stick and they're walking along with their stick.
Yeah.
How would you know they were deaf and blind? By just by looking over the road and seeing them.
So not actually, and no communication.
No communication.
It's not nothing to do with the stick colour, is it?
It's the stick.
White, black stripes on the...
It's got red stripes coming.
Right.
So if you see somebody with stripes on their...
God, I'm not as stupid as I thought.
Very good.
Gold star for you. Top of the class.
Yes.
But I'm so blind I wouldn't see the red stripe.
So if they've got a stripe, then then they're deaf and blind. And then you communicate on their hand. So every letter on the hand, you do the alphabet, but you touch their hand.
Yeah.
So
Is there any other colours?
So you would get the hand, instead of doing like an A here, you go A, B, and you'd actually touch their hand so they could feel your hand. Yeah.
Is there any other colours that go on that stick as well?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
So is that a separate, do you have to almost relearn sign language to be able to do that? Or is it quite simple that you just have to?
You have to, it's just practice, really. If you know the alphabet, you just practice on their hand.
On their hands,
and that's how they communicate. So it's quite tiring with somebody.
I can imagine.
So but it's good. It's good. So I went and did a course. We was in Canterbury, walking down the road, and then we had to wear ear defenders and masks. So can you imagine all the traffic was coming up, seeing all these people walking down the road suddenly with ear defenders and masks.
The local bondage group are out again.
It was like that.
But it's just to get the sense of how they are feeling, right?
Yeah, so, which is really,
that must be so challenging for them as well. It must,
But you say that, I went to a deaf-blind school years ago. I was... when I was a photographer, we've got lots in common.
Oh, right, okay.
Had my own business doing that. I've had lots of businesses.
That's weird, because when we did a search on TikTok, it came up your name, photographer.
Yeah, that's not me though, because I don't advertise as a photographer, but I still like my photography. But we was doing, I was a photographer then, and we went to a school for the blind, and I kept saying, are these children all blind? Because they were just running around. You cannot believe, they're just normal kids, but they're just running around, up climbing frames, running around, and you would not believe that they were blind. It was unbelievable. It was
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
To know we can all work out where stuff in your own house in the dark.
Yeah.
But to know where other kids are when you're playing around,
their sense, they just know.
Yeah.
And in the school's really clever because they have carpet on the corners. So when the children are walking, they can feel a difference under their feet, and then they turn, and then they know where.
How weird!
It's really good.
Have you seen on the internet? So it's definitely real. That guy who is blind, but he clicks.
Yes.
Oh,
And he can ride.
yes.
He can ride a bike.
Yeah.
Based on sonar where he is. He
Des.
clicked, and he can hear the click coming back.
wow.
Yeah, I have seen that before. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Really
It's
amazing.
so clever.
But if that's all you've ever known, that's all you've ever known.
Yeah.
And they say when you lose a sense, the others heighten, don't they? The other four, or as in Rachel's case, the other two senses.
No,
heighten.
I knew there was 5. Because I've got 6, but then no, I knew there was 5.
Remember, the 6th one is where you see dead people, right? So, yeah, you mentioned being a photographer. So what else have you done in your career, in your life?
Oh,
What did you start out as?
Oh, I had a really boring job. I left school and went and worked in a typing pool in Marylebone for head office for British Rail, which is equally as boring as it sounds. And I hated it. So I just thought, even at that age, at 16, I knew that if I just got the experience rather than the qualifications, because I left school, our school was rubbish. Our school was like St Trinian's of Kent. It was. There's no two ways about it. Our school was like St Trinian's. So we all left with no qualifications, basically. And we got our qualifications when we left school. So I went there. I hated that job. 3 months I stayed there. Went over to, one day I went and got an interview for a medical secretary. They wanted someone 21 plus. I was just 16. So I lied. I lied and said I was 21 and got the interview. All the doctors.
They went, you're lying, you're 25.
But it was all then like just the confidence. I sat there and like just said what they wanted to hear, and they offered me the job straight away until I did do the paperwork and I was honest. They said, well, you're only 16. I said, well, give me the job. If I'm no good, you can get rid of me and give me 3 months.
Yeah.
And I stayed for about 2.5 years.
Wow.
And then Maggie Thatcher was closing all the health authorities. So I left there. By that time, I'd bought a house and I wanted a cheap mortgage. So I thought, where can I go? I'll go and work for a building society and get a cheap mortgage. So I went and got an interview, got the job.
You got some front, I'll give you that.
And the manager said to me, why do you want to work for us? Bradford and Bingley, and waiting for me to go, it's my career. I went, I actually want a cheap mortgage. So if I'm working, I'm not going to leave, am I? Because I want a cheap mortgage. He went, okay, I can give you the job. So I couldn't even get a GCSE in maths. I was useless at maths, so I don't know how I got a job there. But anyway, I ended up as a mortgage advisor. I couldn't even do maths at school. I was so rubbish. I really was. So anyway, I was a mortgage advisor, and I stayed there till I had my first baby, and then I left. Stay-at-home mum for a little while. I thought, I'm bored, and then I'd had a few little jobs, and then what did I do? Then I started doing photography, just as fun. But I could never do anything for fun. I go full in.
Yeah.
So, and I loved my photography. And then I started, one day, one of my best friends was getting married and she had no money whatsoever. It was on a shoestring. I said, I tell you what, I'll do your wedding photos as a little present. Put them in an album. She loved them. Somebody saw it and went, could you do my wedding? Yeah, okay, did hers. And I did all these weddings for free. And then a friend of mine, this is no word of lie, bought me a little book out of a boot fair, 10 pence, how to make money on wedding on your photography. So I read this little 10p book. Right, I'm going to put that into practice. Then I started charging, and then I started advertising, and then I just went crazy, and I was just doing weddings, and then I was doing, I love doing animals, family, you name it. Yeah. I was doing all that. Even glamour photos. Some of my friends were in that business going to me, what do you think of my photos? And I was like, you look really embarrassed.
Yeah.
Get your kit off and take some photos. So they were like, oh, wow. And so then I was doing like these photos, and they got loads of work out of the photos. And they were like, oh, that's good. So I did that. At the same time as doing that, my husband got a £500 tax rebate. And we were like, what should we do with it? Let's do something with it rather than just paying all our debt and bills like you do. And we bought a bouncy castle like you do.
Oh, right. It's like hiring them out.
So that we started with one. I was just going to do one as a little bit of extra. Well, I ended up buying 9 in the end. Yeah. And had a really, really
good... I was going to say 2.
No, we had 9, the big boxing ring, and you name it, we had it.
Wicked.
And then I had a lovely bloke that we met at the photography club. he was my driver. Well, he came with me. He wasn't my driver, so he wasn't my driver.
God, you are doing well.
No, he couldn't drive because he was. I shouldn't laugh if he's listening to this. He was blind in one eye, so he couldn't make it up. So he would help me. Excuse me. So in the mornings, I'd go out with my bouncy castles, put them up, back, suited and booted, wedding, back, take the castle down, back. Anyway, this went on. Great, 2 really successful businesses. And then I became pregnant and had twins, and they were born really prem, that 10 weeks prem. So then I gave up the businesses, sold them, gave them up. And then they were fine, in the end they were fine, but I had 2 babies and that. So one day I was sitting there, goes on to my next, there was a reason. So I went to a mother and baby club and I was really bored. I was just sitting there, oh my God, this is so boring. And this woman gave me a card and she said, my children do filming, TV work, and your babies are gorgeous. There's the agent.
Yeah.
So put the card in my bag. That was stayed in there for another couple of weeks till I actually had 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Had a look, rung the woman, had a chat. She still sent some photos over.
Especially twins as well. They like twins.
They use twins all the time.
Yeah.
So
can you come this way a little bit? Sorry. I've just noticed the awards are covering you up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. So I rung her. She said, send some photos in. I sent some photos in of the girls. I knew which ones they wanted, like doing photography. And they got a call back straight away. And then we started 10 years of filming, like TV work. 10 years. And 10 years of it. I did it for them. They wanted it. And then one day they were like, oh, we need a 10-year-old little girl. I've got one. Daughter came in. I need a 14-year-old boy. I've got one.
So what was the filming for?
Oh, different things.
Yeah, adverts and things like that, or
just TV, but like dramas that you see on telly. Like there was one, like I think it was called Cherished, and it's like we're all in it. Like, oh, that's the back of my head. I'm in a prison scene. I'm visiting a prisoner. Oh, that's so and so. That's my son. He was queuing up to get a cup of tea. My daughter was playing with the main character on the floor. It was all different things. The babies did. Their first ever film was their programme. They had to be in a big high-rise flat in London, and it was from a really it was supposed to be a council place, really dirty and smelly. So their first great big major role was these smelly kids that I had to put a baby grow that was all chocolate, and we made it really filthy. And then, of course, you go for dinner, which is on a big double-decker bus. It's brilliant, and it's all the lovely food. And I'm taking this dirty baby on, which she had to stay in her baby grow. Everyone's like, looking at me, I'm having to. She's in character. She's in character. Honestly, she's in character. And because they swap the babies, they're both looking really grubby.
So you've got like 2 babies.
They're just so revolting.
Yeah, that's the handy thing for twins, isn't it? So you can prolong the day.
Well, they're only allowed to work 4 hours.
Yeah.
So when you're doing an 8-hour shoot, time is money.
Yes.
So they can't have. So then I became a chaperone to a lot of the babies because parents didn't want they were too scared to see the stars, as they called them, which I'm like, oh, get out, they're only normal people.
Yeah, just normal people.
So I'd go on set with the babies and I wasn't scared to say to the producers, like, oh, I need to stop, this baby needs a drink. Because they can be like, no, it's time. I'm like, no, this baby's going for a drink.
Absolutely.
So then, and then my friend, did you ever watch Footballers' Wives?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've got my friend's twin boys as the main character on there. I can't think of the babies.
Tanya Turner's or someone like that, wasn't it?
It was, it was the two. So she had twin boys and they were gorgeous. So I got her on that and we did quite a few years on Footballers' Wives with the boys. And then my girls did Vicar of Dibley and the Beale a few times. And then the feature film King Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
They were dressed up. They only wanted one, but I took them both and they were like, oh, they can both do it. And they were like Ray Winston's children.
Wow.
Right.
And he was hilarious because they were all twins and he had this baby in his arms and baby was fine and he'd look and he'd go, all right, baby. Like deep voice. And this baby was like, change the baby. One came out and he'd be like that. And he was like, What, but the baby? Don't look at the baby. Don't look at the baby. Every time he looked at a child, he looked at my two. What? Like, he was the kindest. He's the most kindest, loveliest man, but because of his deep voice, the way he was, he scared the life out of me.
That recent thing he's in, The Gentleman. Have you seen that?
Well,
really
going on
good.
to The Gentleman, The Gentleman, my son's in that.
Oh, was he?
The first, my son is a boxer, he's a professional he was a professional boxer.
Right.
Tom Dallas.
We'll have to get him
they
in.
All know,
Get him in.
Oh, you'd love Tom.
Yeah, get him in.
Yeah, you'd love Tom. So he was asked to do that. He's in the first scene when they do the boxing scene.
Right, yeah.
Where they go and meet
Where her brother.
And he wins it. That's my son, Tom. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I have to go back and go, I know that guy.
Yeah.
No, you don't, mate. I know the mum of that guy.
I keep getting messages all the time going, Karen, we're just watching The Gentleman. I know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
It looked like Tom. It's like, yes, it was Tom.
So do you still have connections in like that sort of?
No, I did it for 10. We did it for 10 years. I was chaperone then. My husband was the chaperone, and we got paid like just walking up and down with our kids all day. It was brilliant. And then they got to about 10, and one day they just went, "Oh, this is so boring."
Yeah.
And we don't want to do it. And I'm not a pushy showbiz mum.
no.
And I was like, fine.
Yeah.
What they wanted to do was stay in a field with a horse and do horse riding, which, like you do.
Yeah.
So, so they did that. And then when they didn't want to do that, I then thought, what can I do? And then I went and did the signing with my friend. That's history, and then that's it. And I've been doing that can't believe it's 20 years this year that I started my signing.
And you've got a few kids, haven't you? Am I right?
Yeah, I've got 6.
6, yeah.
6 kids. I've got 3 sons, 3 daughters, and the last 2 daughters are identical twins. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 11 grandchildren as well.
Oh, my God. So you've got
Why
your
are you
hands
not
quite
bed?
full there.
Yeah.
Blimey.
Yeah, so...
So do your grandchildren and your children know sign language? Are you teaching them?
Well, when the first one, Alfie, was born, he was really... I'm not just saying it because of my grandson, but he was really advanced. He walked at 8 months. He climbed. He did everything. But obviously, his speech was an 8-month baby, an 8-month-old baby. So he was really frustrated. He couldn't communicate properly.
Yeah.
So he started headbanging. None of mine did that. And it was quite shocking to see a little baby banging his head in frustration because... They'd cry and he'd go, do you want a drink? And he'd be throwing it. No, because he's hungry, maybe. He doesn't want a drink.
Yeah.
So I started teaching him sign language. I was teaching him signs. By the time he was 1, he knew 40 signs. Now, no baby at 1 can speak 40 words.
Wow.
But he knew. So he could come up to me. He would do biscuit, meaning he was hungry, not necessarily wanted a biscuit. He would do drink. I could give him a drink. He would look at my oven and he knew that's the word, that's the sign for hurt, pain.
Hurt, yeah.
And he would just look and go, so he knew he couldn't touch it and walk away. I didn't have to moan at him. And he knew all his colours. He just knew so much that I could teach him. And
That's
he calmed
amazing.
down, he stopped his head banging and everything.
Is he the boxer now?
No, that's my grandson. No,
Oh,
my
sorry.
son. It's my second son. He signs. He's a roofer. And it's really great because he did level 3. He just picked it up really good. But it's lovely. One of the stories, he knocked on the door and this little old deaf lady come to the door, terrified. He's 6'6.5". He's like built like that. And she looked up and she was really nervous. And he could say, and he signed to her, like, I'm the roofer. I just want to know where your electric is. Put the kettle on, we'll have a cup of tea. And she was like, come in. And it's lovely.
Yeah.
He could chat to her. And people are really surprised that he can just sign. And
It's a nice talent to have.
But he's the only
definitely.
one. My daughter was going to learn. She came into my class from about 3 times, was pregnant, and just kept throwing up in my class. I had to ask her to leave in the end. My own daughter, you're going to have to leave because you just.
Did you sign that though? Right, stop throwing up and leave.
Yeah, I think we're going to give up. You just. That's it. So she had really bad morning sickness. In the end, I just said to her, this isn't going to work. I kicked my own daughter out of my class, so that was it.
Because signing is like speaking another language, isn't it?
It's a recognised language.
It's like learning French or Spanish or anything like that.
And this is Sign
Which I'm
Language
terrible
Week,
at.
which I'm so excited to be on here.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Sign Language Week.
Oh, brilliant.
So you do more than sign language because you've got your own little choir.
We've got our big choir. We won the UK champions. We've won Jersey. We've got multiple awards with our choir.
You're going to sing and sign for us now?
We don't sing. Oh, you want to hear us sing? Oh, my life. You'd kick me out. You'd be going, that's enough, Karen. Let's terminate this very quickly.
We'll be sick.
Oh, you would be... If I sung, you would be... I cannot sing. No, it's so true.
Oh, but you can tell. You can tell she'll take it.
Yeah, but no, that is so true. I can't be offended when it's so true. If you heard us, we once went up to London. We were at Trafalgar Square signing with another a group that actually sung beautiful. And we're all on the train and we're singing because we're practicing our signing. And our thing says, obviously, vision signing. But when you look at the word signing and singing, they look very similar.
Yeah.
So people are getting on the train, they're up this end. They've obviously think we're singing. And they must have been sitting there going, oh, shocking. Because they couldn't see us signing because we was like at the back. So we're all signing away, but all they can hear is us saying, like, oh my life.
Do you ever have like a sign off with another band? You know, like have rap battles.
Like Pitch Perfect.
That'd be quite good.
And with a bit of that.
None of that.
Was I low enough? Yeah. No one see it.
He does know some songs, some that we can't actually say.
Of course he does. That's the only bit. He was like, right, teach me this. It's very close to boat as well, isn't it?
No, everyone knows. Well, everyone in the know knows.
Yeah, so we have a choir. It's a community choir, so we don't get paid a penny for it, but every bit of money that we come in, we send it out to local charities.
Oh, brilliant.
Small charities. So we love it. Like through the pandemic, we sent it to a goat sanctuary in Maidstone because they were going to have to close.
All right.
So we adopted all these goats for all our members, and because we love animals anyway. So we sponsor a hearing dog for the deaf, and so any money comes in if it's a small charity that need those few £100 extra, then we give the money.
So how does a hearing dog work?
Hearing dogs are brilliant. So they're trained to go with a deaf person to give them the confidence, because when you're deaf, it can really knock your confidence. If you're not born deaf and you go
exactly,
deaf.
and all of a sudden
and you've got to go into a shop and you've got to try and communicate that you want something. It's really difficult. So hearing dogs are a real companion. They give you a lot of confidence, and people obviously see that dog as well. They wear a little maroon jacket, so you know the difference between a guide dog that wears the blue and for the blind, and the hearing dogs wear maroon. They know it's a hearing dog, and you know that person's deaf. Wow. So it just gives them a lot of confidence, and the hearing dogs are
so it's just, what am I trying to say? It's going to sound wrong, but in my eyes, it's like you're saying the dog's going to go out and go, come on, you got this.
Well, it is because
is the dog doing anything to help them? Is the dog hearing something and sitting in a way or acting?
Yeah, because if they go across the road, they're trained. It's not just a dog. They're trained.
So the dog is stopping.
So the dog knows, to stop at the road. It will know the traffic.
Just like a guide dog.
It does help, but it will. These people can see. They can see, but it will. You
don't realise how much you hear when you need to cross a road.
Yes. And they are just such a good confidence for those people to go out, and people will be more aware, and they don't have to say, I'm deaf. You see the dog. So if you're in a restaurant or anything, because you're allowed to take, they're a service dog. So if you're in a restaurant, then the person will see that dog, and then they will help you more, and you haven't got to go right through that I'm deaf, and all that business.
Because it can be quite embarrassing. It's like being in school going, excuse me, I need some extra help. And
you don't want to be saying that. Why should you?
This dog is
You've
just
got the dogs.
I will need some assistance. Please assist me.
They're great.
The thing is, though, I've never took notice of the colours. I just assume.
I bet you will now.
I will now. I just assume it's guide dog.
No,
blind.
Colour, or is it just those two?
The blind ones are blue, aren't they?
Blue. Yeah, the guide dogs are blue, and the hearing dogs are maroon. And then you've got other service dogs. I'm not sure on all the colours, but they've all got different coats that you would have, like
drug sniffer.
Oh yeah, I mean they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean I love.
She's laughing at me, but I meant it.
I know.
They do.
I know.
Yeah, a drug sniffer. I like that drug sniffer dog.
We have
It's got a coat of white lines on it.
and a little police badge. Higher authority dog.
It's not Paw Patrol, right?
No, we have at work. We have a therapy dog that comes in.
And the therapy dogs, yeah. Though, but when you go to the airport, what about you? When the dog comes out, you know you haven't got drugs.
And
You
you
always get, you're like, oh, don't make eye contact with the dog. Because I've got dogs.
Have I got ham on me? Have I got anything it wants? I'm like, why? Why would you have ham on an aeroplane?
I know. But you do, don't you? The dogs come along and you're like that.
Oh, hang back.
Oh, that's good. I walk past. That's good.
You've never done drugs in your life, and it's weird, isn't it?
But you
I'm the
do.
same. I'm
You
the same.
do.
Like,
see
even
that-
through customs, you go, what if they search my suitcase? I'm like, I've got nothing in there.
I know,
I've got nothing to
but it
hide.
makes
But
you.
It does. It makes you
feel
really
like
tense.
And I'm exactly the same.
They've always got an armed officer holding them, haven't they?
And you're like, oh, really? Sorry, you haven't done
I'm really
anything.
sorry.
I just won't make eye contact with that dog.
know.
Because I know that if I look at my dogs, you look down like that and then they're there, aren't they? They come and sit with you. So
But
don't
I'm the
look at
same on the
dogs.
motorway though when I see a police car, aren't you? I'll just
Slow
stay
right
forward.
down.
And you look at your
I'm
speed
still
bump
trying to
straight
go.
away,
I'm
you're
still
like-
trying to go fastish, and I'm going like 72, and going past them like really slow. But I'm still going forward.
And then you do this on the cereal, like 10 to 2, and you're like, I'm doing this properly. Look, see?
And no
Then
eye
when
contact.
Yeah,
when you
no
get
eye
past-
contact.
No.
When you get past, you're like, yeah, I can do this.
But they know because half of them are unmarked, so they see all the normal stuff that goes on.
When you're eating and drinking, you're like, if I just do this, have a quick drink.
And it's the signing. When you're signing, you sit with somebody that's deaf and you're driving. Oh my life, that is hard.
I can imagine.
I worked with one young lad and I would be taking him to his course and he'd be signing away to me and you're driving, you're like, please just tell me yes and no answers because, and then you're trying to do it with one hand and you're signing and then you're like,
All over the-
oh crumbs, that's the hardest thing. And then
Rolled 4 cars,
it's just
haven't you?
signing away and you're like, and your eyes are on him and oh dear, yeah, that's a different whole new ball game that is.
Because you were telling us a story beforehand about singing up in London and then the couple that were arguing, and obviously you knew that they were doing it in sign language and you found that quite funny, just sitting there watching going,
know.
yes, yeah. Were you there for the story?
I don't know.
I don't think you were.
No.
So yeah, we took the choir to London. We was on Victoria Station, and we went to go around the corner to a private little bit just to put all our bags, and we were told where we could go. But there was 2 people there having this massive argument, and they were going some, but they were both deaf. And I was a bit naughty because I just stood there and I was just watching them, and they were just having this really good thing. And I was thinking, oh, this is juicy, really, really good argument. They stopped, they looked at me, so I just signed at them. Oh, sorry, we need to have this corner because we've got all our bags and that to put there in sign. And their faces were like, oh,
She knows what we're
she knows what we've just said, and they just sort of scurried away.
Well, what did you say about our mate Richard? You said that he was in a pub one evening.
Oh yeah. He sort of had this sort of dinner or whatever it was with his friend, and then there was these 2 girls next to him, and they were obviously signing, and he leant over and he was like, "Oh, I can sign too." And they got really offended, like, "Oh, you fuck off!" And just turn their backs. It was like doing sign language like that in it,
Like we were
know.
saying, if it was just talking.
Yeah, but if you 2 were talking and somebody come up and went, "Hi, I can talk," you'd be like, "Yeah, all right, off we go. Do one." You wouldn't do it.
Come and join us in the conversation.
Although you're saying that, I was in Ireland this last year, and we went out for dinner, my family and that, and we're sitting there, and then there was a family next to me, and they were signing, and I was like, my eyes were going, and my daughter went, "Oh, she's going to be off in a minute." And they had a baby, and the little girl had thrown her little toy on the floor, so I picked it up, gave it to the mum. She said thank you, and I said you're welcome in sign, and she looked at me. I'm getting in. I just want to sign. I'd been signing for weeks. So anyway, we started signing, and then I said I signed, and then the husband he could do BSL, but in Ireland they do Irish Sign Language, which is different to British
right.
Sign
Right.
Language. So I was signing to him. He was translating it to his wife, And would you believe she had a signing choir in Ireland?
How weird.
So I started my dinner here. I then
Ignored your family.
I then turned and ignored the whole family. And then we were just sat there the whole time with my family just eating, going, oh, just ignore that. But it was really nice. And she was showing me pictures of, this is my sign language choir. And I was like, I've got to get mine out.
Yeah.
This is mine. And we were like showing. It was really nice though, but it was so different.
Yeah.
Even in Ireland, they have a completely different way of signing, which was good.
So with
Amazing.
your choir, do you have background music when you sing?
Yeah, we do
And then you
anything. We do, crumbs, we do anything from Bohemian Rhapsody. We're all on YouTube. So if you go on the YouTube and do Vision Signing Choir, you will see a 50-strong choir in 4 parts like they do on Queen. And we did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, right, okay.
We do any song, any song you want
so
to.
you do the video for it as well?
We do lots of videos on there, you'll
Music
see.
videos.
Yeah, we do videos.
Oh, that's wicked.
So you'll see what we do. But last night was our practice. So we did, we were doing like Shaggy, like, we're doing songs.
And
we
Scooby?
The thing too.
Yeah, Shaggy,
Scooby
Angel,
Dooby.
with Angel. So go from that to, I don't know, what was we doing last night? ABBA, and then we've been invited to the Dockyard for their 40s. Performance.
Oh, we go to that?
So we'll be there. We've been invited. So they've asked us to do 40s, the song, like 40s songs. So we were doing one that I've never heard of before, but we were like doing all the 40s ones. Yeah. So we go from, and then we've been asked to do Maidstone Deaf Pride. So that will be completely different songs. Yeah. So we do we've got so many different songs. We were at Blue Water Saturday.
So can you, sorry.
For their 25th wedding.
For their 25th wedding anniversary.
For their 25th anniversary. And we did all different ones up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maidstone Deaf Pride.
Yeah.
So is that just deaf? Because you think pride, you think it's like...
oh, sorry, it's not...
Gay.
You said Deaf
Gay Pride. It's not...
Yeah.
I said Deaf Pride, sorry.
You said Deaf Pride?
Yeah, it's not Deaf Pride, it's Pride.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
So, sorry.
I was like, are they deaf gay people?
Well, most probably deaf gay people will be going there, but I think it's just that everyone's invited. I don't think it's just the... No, sorry, that's me. That's me saying deaf. No, sorry.
Quite...
It's gay. Yeah, I've never done the Pride one. This is our first time we're going up there. So, yeah, it's Gay Pride, or I don't know the correct terminology.
Right.
But, yeah.
Some of these choirs are... Is every member completely deaf in some of them?
We've got a lovely mixture of deaf, hard of hearing.
So, right. But you need one hearing just to see when the song starts, don't you, or not?
Well, one of our choir masters, she's she's deaf. She's got a Baha, which is like a cochlear.
Yeah.
And we've got a really good speaker now that you can pick up the bass better, so she can hear it all. If it's a bit quiet, she might not be able to come in as we just tell her when to come in, but she can hear that on there. And we've had deaf members that they can feel the vibrations. They just love the feeling of it. Yeah. Lots of people with hearing aids. We've got lots of different people that are just. It's great. Everybody is just sort of. It's lovely to have the deaf community, the hearing community. We all get together, and it's just like we're all just one. And
it should be. It should be,
but it is. It is really.
Nice.
It's really good. Yeah,
definitely.
Because I think a lot of the whole sign language in the deaf community were very well represented when the girl was on Strictly Come Dancing.
Oh, Rose, yes,
and
she was brilliant.
I cried when that.
Yeah, so did I.
It was amazing.
That was so powerful.
That quiet bit.
When she
so
danced, we were like,
powerful.
something's gone wrong, and then we went, no, this is actually what she listens to, and I was like, oh my god. And everyone
how powerful.
was just, it was amazing.
Yeah,
and it really brought through the whole deaf community and everything like that. And
was that the final when she did? It wasn't even the final.
No, it was just one.
I think she won though, didn't she?
She did win, which was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, she's amazing.
Because obviously that's how she is, and that must be really challenging, not being able to hear the music, yet having to dance to the music as such. That must be so hard.
Yeah,
so hard.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Take your hat off to her. She was amazing. But you know, our choir members, some of them are deaf and like hard of hearing and that, and they just like they can all just, and because it's visual as well. Sometimes you do a song, and we get people going, "I never knew that meant that." You sing it all the time, which is good in most cases, but in some, I run a children's choir as well. I'll go give them a little plug as well. A little children's choir. Some of them are deaf. It's great. So I've got.
But are they singing this time?
No.
They're signing.
Singing.
It's all signing. It's all signing
again. Yeah, they're all signing like their vision. They're our juniors.
Right. Okay.
And we take them from. Well, I'm supposed to take them from 5 to 12. But some of the big ones don't want to leave. So I've got some 13-year-olds. And I've got a couple of little Diddy 3-year-olds that love it. And they are so good. But we've got, out of the class, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 children that are deaf. So it's brilliant. They've got their hearing aids. And the other children then learn about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they know not all to talk together because they won't be able to, it's too much for them because they've got their hearing aids in. And it's great. It's a bit like show and tell sometimes. I've got new hearing aids and all the kids are like,
it's like glasses, isn't it? When the kids get glasses and they're like, look, I got Spider-Man on this.
Saying that though, our son did signing on Christmas carols, didn't they?
Yep, he did that. They
signed a complete song, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so lovely when you see children signing.
And they knew it. So they literally had it down to an art, didn't they? They were singing and they were signing at the same time. And even Tilly, I think it was meant to happen last year, her first year of secondary school. She was in the choir, and they all went to go down to Rochester Cathedral, and she said, right, I'm singing, but then I've got me and I think there was about 8 other girls, she said, are doing a special Walking in a Winter Wonderland, that was it.
Oh, that one,
and she learned it, and she was teaching us, wasn't she?
That's lovely.
But it got cancelled because it was snowing, so we were gutted, absolutely gutted. But so she was teaching us like dancing and everything like that as well, and like the snow and celebrations and stuff. And it was really good to watch.
It's
really
lovely.
good to
So
watch.
you in contact with schools about getting more sign language going within schools?
Yeah, well, next year the GCSE in BSL is going to come out.
Brilliant.
So
I
they
read that
finally,
in the paper,
they finally got that. So that's going to be brilliant. So that children can learn the language, they can learn, and it's recognised GCSE. So that's really, really good.
That is good because it's not just for the people that are born deaf; it's for the people that are maybe deaf in their life. You know,
you never know when's
they're
gonna
already
happen.
prepared for it. Then it's amazing.
1 in 6 people now have a hearing problem.
Really?
And when I first started 20 years ago, it was 1 in 7 because there was a magazine that came out called 1 in 7 as well. And 1 in 7 people would have a hearing problem. It is now 1 in 6.
Wow.
Because of everything that we put in our ears and nobody looks after their hearing. And
Well, this is the new thing because electric cars are so quiet, aren't they? Because I was going to ask this when you were talking about obviously guide dogs and therapy, and we were going down that route. Obviously the dogs are going to have to be retrained because the cars are so quiet, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I've always said to Tilly, if you cross the road, take your earphones out because you could literally see it and it's so quiet you won't even know it's there.
That's true. That is
and I've
really
just said
true.
To her, just be very careful nowadays because there is going to be an accident where an electric car
Oh, it happens.
will accidentally kill someone because they're not aware of it.
Yeah.
So
no, that's really true because things just progress and signing progresses and everything. A funny little story about the children's choir when I was saying it's in words and you go, I didn't know that meant that. We have a problem with the kids choir because they listen on the radio and not all songs are really appropriate for kids.
No.
But they don't really listen to the words.
No.
So they're singing away and it's all like, it's quite inappropriate with little ones singing it. But they come in and go, can we do that song? And I'm like,
how am I going to get away?
Because
No, I don't think we can do Smack Your Bitch Up.
Well, what they wanted, Barbie came out, didn't it? Barbie.
Yeah.
Can we do Barbie? Everybody, can we do Barbie? Can we do Barbie? I went, yeah, silly me. Yeah, let's do Barbie. So I've looked at the Barbie song, like the old one, the Aqua one. And it's like, you couldn't undress me anywhere. I was like, so I went back and they were like, are we doing Barbie? And I was like, and they were really upset me. But we want to do Barbie. I thought, oh, crumbs. So then I'm like, okay, we'll change it. So we do the clothes and then we're gonna change the clothes. I said, and the bigger ones are looking at me, they're clocking it. I said, because we're talking about a Barbie doll. Barbie dolls, we change all their clothes, don't we? So we have to undress them and put new clothes on. And they're like, oh yeah. And it's like, I can beg, I can please on my knees and all that. And I'm like, the dolly's playing and we can like say, we're begging. And I'm just like, I'm having to, and it's like, I'm something about, he's calling us stupid, like you're
like a blonde
bimbo type thing. And I'm like, Oh, she's a silly dolly, isn't she? And I've actually just changed quite a few of the words because I can't have these little ones going, you can brush my hair, undress me anywhere. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen with a 5-year-old.
And a 3-year-old going,
yes. No, we just change it because it's a dolly. And we're going to brush the dolly's hair because it's like you can... oh, my life.
From start to finish, how long will it take you to learn a song? Obviously, it depends.
What, for me to translate it to teach it, or for you to learn it if you came into me?
So, if you were teaching the kids, how long would like one song? If they said Barbie, for example, and you said, okay, from start to finish,
it really depends on the song.
Right. Okay.
If it's like some of these singers, the words are just really rubbish, and it's like 10 minutes, and it's just so simple. But other songs can take, if not weeks. When we did the Nationals, and we did. This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. And there's a lot of choirs out there, a lot of people that sign that do not do the right context, a bit like us doing the foreign language. So it's like, say, for example, the part of it is like, I'm gonna drown you out. People were doing that. They were sending it to me going, oh, look, so-and-so's done this song. And they're doing the actual signs of drowning. No one's drowned in that song. It doesn't mean that.
No.
So you have to then look at all the words and what does
ignore
this actually...
you. Is it ignore
we
you?
did ignore. Well, that's exactly what we did. We did ignore, but we put that sign in. I'm beating to the heart. I'm beating my drum. No drums are involved either. It's what aims in life you want. And it's all... So you have to... And it was... really written so well, and it's very clever, that song. So it took us a long time. And then the main bit, I am brave, I am bruised. We got the brave bit, sign for brave. I am bruised. Oh my goodness, we had so many meetings over this. So many discussions. What each one
experience
of us. We just did bad emotions in the end, because you're bruised from. It's like it is a bad experience.
It's a bad experience,
But we just did. So I am brave. I am bruised. So we did like bad emotions. But that one thing took us weeks because we
to
could
debate the right.
Like,
you basically have to rewrite the song, right?
Yes, but you want to keep it in with what they meant as well. We don't. Apart from Barbie, we went off. We went off grid for that one, but it's only for the children. But the songs, some of them are so written so well. What does it mean? And especially we've done a few from The Greatest Showman, and even from the Greatest Show. You read it and you think, oh, now what does that mean?
How
and
can
things like that.
Some of them, some songs you don't know what they mean still, even now.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's a weird one. Did you do all 7 minutes of it? Or whatever?
Yeah, we did. We did the
It's about begging forgiveness, isn't it, for doing something wrong?
It's about a lot of different... But, So we were like, what does... Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Right, let's put that in. What bit does that mean? And we look up the whole history of the song and what it meant, it basically, they made it up. It doesn't mean anything. It does not, there's not a proper story to it. It is basically, most of it, they most probably... on smoking. Something I was going to say. They most probably didn't have a very clear mind at the time.
Very true.
Scaramouche. You just...
It's like Michael Jackson songs, isn't it? You know that Mama say, Mama san about you, sa. Mama say, Mama san. Originally, it was I've been saved by the sound of Michael's song. I've been saved by the sound of Michael's song.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm on about?
Yeah, I know the song you mean.
But they thought it was too Jesus-like, so just turned it into a noise. Mama say, Mama san about you, sa. Mama say, Mama say. Yeah. So imagine trying to sign one of his, because these are all like, ooh, isn't they?
Yeah, we keep...
Shamor.
We keep away from Michael Jackson.
Just in case?
No, just because. That's all I'm saying.
Just in case?
No, just because.
There's no proof.
No. There's no proof. There's no proof he didn't. There's no proof he did.
Exactly.
But there's... we keep away from him.
Have you ever had like really random requests? Have the children ever said to you, can we do this song? And you're like, oh my God, like an Eminem rapping song or something like that. And you're like...
I actually learned Eminem to get my speeds up when I very first started signing. I would do my first ever song was I practiced. I never thought about a choir, never did anything. Was James Blunt, You're Beautiful. And I used to made up the signs and I signed it because it was a really gentle song. And I used to just practice that. And then I used to do Mockingbird by Eminem, and I learnt that to get my speeds up. And it always reminds me, that's a true story. I did that when I was,
So that
I know you love your mum, I know you love your dad, and I did it
really
to get my
fast,
speeds. To get my speeds up. I learnt that one off by heart, and then I started off with James Blunt. So,
you should do what's that one? Chicken for China, the Chinese chicken. Imagine that one.
Wow.
Do you know what was it? It's 1 week. It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
That bit will be all right.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
I'm sure that was in American Pie. Or
It's
like
the
that.
band is. Oh, I do know who sings this.
We
1 week.
We had this conversation the other day, didn't we? We'll have to think. We'll have to Google it.
I do know. I know the band. Just slipped my mind. You got to learn that. I just love to see you try and sign to that.
Wow.
That's just mean.
That is, that's,
Let's ask Siri.
Are you... As you can
Who
see,
sings
we're not
1
very
week?
I love it.
1 week was recorded by
Bare Naked Ladies. 1 week.
Ladies, that's it.
I'm sure I'm going to take that into my kids' choir. We're going to do Bare Naked Ladies. Bare Naked Ladies this
Do
week.
it for the adults one.
Yeah, I think all the mums will be like, we're just taking our children back out of this choir now. We've done Barbie. We've had enough of that one. That's
Take your clothes off.
Oh, I know. They loved. They kept asking me for weeks for that. You know when Rockabye Baby came out?
Oh yeah.
Well, when they all sung that, and the kids all
Rockabye.
which is fine. But when she go, what is the woman and what she's doing and where's she making her money, and then you've sort of got to go, it's not really appropriate for your children. But they're singing at home and they're singing it in the car.
Yeah.
But they were wondering why I wouldn't translate that. Well, I was like, no, I don't think we
Should
do.
do 18 by Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. Some of it, no. We did a Rihanna one before, and we had to change we sort of changed it about riding. We went, it's in the car, because I had a lady that was 74, and I thought, no, I'm not going there. And so let me I'm first, and like driving, she wanted to be first and the driving, and we sort of changed it a little bit we didn't think it was appropriate at that time. That's going back quite some years when that first came out. So you've got to be careful.
So what awards? Sorry, I just jumped in there. So you said you've won awards and everything like that. Tell us about your awards that you've won and everything.
So for Vision Communication, I've won from the Kent Women in Business Association. I've won that for the last 4 years for women in education and for communication for community as well. This year I got runner-up in professional achievement, because I wasn't allowed to enter for those because you couldn't enter if you won the year before, and I won twice the year before. So I'd won the community and the education, so I wasn't allowed to enter. So, but I was really excited because I got runner-up in professional achievement, and I was a finalist in Kent Women in Business of the Year. Wow. So I was really excited for that. So I actually put a picture on my Facebook of all my certificate, like all my awards, and there was 11 up on the wall, which was really great. And then for the choir, obviously we've got the community one for Kent Women in Business, Medway, the Pride of Medway. Sorry,
Pride of Medway,
we've been finalists in that, and got
Do you
a
enter that
trophy.
Pride of Medway? I've always
No, you get nominated. You get nominated. You suddenly, like, I was round, I think Asda's, and I got a phone call like, hello, and like, you've been nominated. I was like, oh, that's exciting.
I just got to finish my shopping.
And then like I say, we won the UK champion, so we've got we hosted it as well. We hosted it for the whole of the UK, which was exciting. So we had all the choirs around the UK all came down, and we did it at the Black Lion, which is now Medway Park. All the other choirs, we've always gone to these beautiful big theatres, which is lovely in a theatre, but the theatres around here are too small. We couldn't get everybody in. So I was down with another choir master. We was in the gym. I go to the gym down there. We was in the gym on the bike going, we've got to find somewhere where it's going to be big enough. It's disabled friendly. It's got ramps. It's got parking. I was actually sitting in there looking out the window.
Okay.
Where can we go? Where can we go? And then I suddenly went, we'll go here. So, we hosted it and it went there, which was ideal.
Yeah.
So we hosted that there. And, that was really good. That was
brilliant.
That was enjoyable. Yeah.
Right. So if there's someone that wants to start learning to sign, how do we get hold of you? And what days do you do classes and all your information, basically?
Yeah, my information. So my next level 1 class is not till September because I'm already through it. And my next level 2 is in September and 3 and 4. But you can catch me on Facebook, Vision Communication, and also website www.visioncommunication.org. And you can find the choir as well, Vision Signing Choir. We're on Facebook, and you don't need any experience to come to the choir because we teach you along the way. It's just good fun.
All right, so they don't need any sign language experience.
No,
they just need to know the signs for the song, basically.
We teach them. We're all qualified. All our choir masters are highly qualified, so we teach you as you go along. We've got a branch in Gillingham. We've got a branch in Maidstone as well at the YMCA.
That's hilarious, isn't it? If they see someone signing on the train and they go up to them and start doing, I'm a Barbie girl.
Undress me.
You can undress me anywhere.
And they're like, okay.
And that's all they've learned. Yeah.
It's been lovely having you on.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I've had a great time. Thank you.
You can come on again. If you've got anything coming up, then always come give us a call. And we'll bring
I
you back
will
on.
do. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Lovely to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Give us a hug.
Oh, she gets a hug.
Thank you. Give us a hug.
Right.
Thank you. Even though I don't recognise you.
Bang out of order. She's never coming back on. This podcast has been brought to you by Snug Dubs Camper Van Hire.
Roam the world, park anywhere.
That's snugdubs.co.uk. This podcast was brought to you today by Austin's Eatery on Station Road, Strood.
Try the Viking Challenge.